this class is going to be about public speaking. Okay. So my first question to all of you is, what exactly do you see on the screen right now? I just need a couple answers from you people. You can just tell. Okay. So Krishna says it's tools. Okay. Any other answers from anyone? Come on, guys. It's not that hard. Okay. So Umar says it's a hammer. Prakriti is very much detailed. It's a screwdriver and a hammer. Gaurav is being diplomatic by saying tools. Sadia says it's hammer. Okay, any other answers? Hetal says screwdriver. Ashi is a little more precise. Tools to carve things. Sadwan says working tools. Metra, I asked what is this that you see on the screen right now? Like, what are these three things that you see on the screen? Okay, so more or less, I'll just summate all the answers that I've got. One I've got is a hammer. Second, I've got a screwdriver. Third, tools and excuse me. Fourth, I've got sculpting tools and I think architect things. Okay, so these are all the answers that I've got. Now, this, if I tell you, this is known as an ice pick. Okay, it looks very much like a screwdriver, but it's an ice pick. This one is a little cooler ice pick. Okay, like this is a very okay version of an ice pick, and this is a little cooler version of an ice pick. And this is like a hammer, which is used to break down not very sharp things, but like very broad things. So basically, these are all what icebreakers. Okay, these are basically what icebreakers, the two pointed tools. Okay, so they are like used to sculpt the ice, and that hammer is used to break the ice. So these three tools that are there over here, they are basically known as icebreakers. I'm not talking about this one. Okay, this is definitely not the icebreaker that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the icebreaker as an idiom. Okay, which one of you can tell me what is an idiom? This word. This word which I'm underlining right now. Which one of you can tell me what is an idiom? Any answers? Come on. Okay, so Umar has a very nice answer. Muhavra. Mangal, not exactly. Sadia, very good. A short sentence which has a deeper meaning. Very nicely put. Mangal, okay, yes, now you're correct. So basically, idiom is something that we call a muhavra in Hindi. Okay, it's a phrase, it's a term that we use which is saying about something but which has an alternate meaning. Okay, so like over here, when I say that I am going to do an icebreaker activity. So I'm not actually going to take all the tools from the previous slide. I'm not going to take ice. I'm not going to sculpt it or I'm not going to break it down. Icebreaker is basically when you are trying to interact with someone, you don't know how to start the conversation with. So you need something as an icebreaker. Okay. So over here, if you can read it out over here, people broke ice to let ships move through water, just like we stopped the silence between people to let the conversation begin. Mohammed, I'm slightly sorry I won't be able to unmute. Whatever questions that you have, you can just put it in the chat. Simultaneously, I'll keep on reading this and whensoever it is possible, I'll surely answer, Mohammed. Okay, so this is what we have. So now, icebreaker, can any one of you, like, think of an icebreaker sentence? Like you go to the school, okay, after all this COVID situation is over, and when you go to your school for the first time, you see a new student in your class. You want to befriend that student. How exactly will you approach? Can you list a couple of icebreakers to me? Will any one of you be able to do that? Okay, Sadhya has a very good one. Hello, what do you have? What have you done in your lockdown? Okay. Slight grammatical issue, but it's nice. Hello, what is your name? Okay. Ask what your previous school was. Very good, Ashi. Shrikar says, nice to meet you. Okay, great. Shrikar, are you actually going to feel nice on meeting that person, or it's just like, you just have to say it just because of an icebreaker? Is that so? English game. Mohammed, you will just say English game? Ask questions about general things, okay? Hello, may I know your good name, please? Excuse me. Which cartoon do you like to watch? Umar, let me just picturize this. First day of your school, you are walking towards someone. And the first sentence that you say, which cartoon do you like to watch? What if the person says, I like to look in the mirror? Hello, nice to meet you. It feels very friendly meeting you. Will you be my friend? Are you good in studies? Ekanshi, how does it matter, beta? If he or she is not good in studies, you won't befriend that person. Is that so? Hi, what's going on? Nice to meet you too. Hello, what is your name? Okay. So basically, I've got a lot of answers from you. Okay. So yes, more or less everyone has said a lot of things about how exactly, you can break ice with the person that you want to talk about. So usually there are a couple of icebreakers that we have. Okay. Now the reason why I'm talking about this is, um, icebreaker is one of the most important things when it comes to publicly representing yourself. Okay, when you go to a family function, you meet a cousin that you've never met before. So your mother or your father, they tell him that yes, this is your aunt's son, or this is your uncle's son, or so on and so forth, right? So you start off by saying that yes, hi, hello, I know your uncle, I know your mother, I know your father. So that is how you communicate in a family function. But imagine that your entire family, your excuse me, I'm really sorry, I'm a little under the weather today. So your entire family is sitting like an audience. The moment you walk in through the door, you have to greet each one of them publicly. Okay, so it becomes a little bit of a task then. So that is the exact same thing that we will be learning over here. How exactly are you supposed to address a group of people that you may or may not know? And how exactly do you hold up yourself without being lesser confident about it? Okay, and I think all of you are still giving me a lot of icebreakers. So, pretty good job, everyone. Some of you have given me multiple icebreakers. So, yes, I will definitely be doing that the next time I see someone who I want to befriend. So, thank you for this. Probably I'll skip out the parts related to school, but yes, I'll surely be working on them. Okay. So, now here I have a little theoretical thing about what exactly is public speaking. So, public speaking involves talking in front of a group of people, usually with some preparation. Okay, now why I have used the word over here usually with preparation? Because what happens is, usually with some preparation, because is that there are certain competitions where you get like you get the topic at the very spot. Okay, on spot topics are going to be there. In some of the topics you will be informed beforehand. Okay, like when you go for a quiz competition, so what you do is you use a lot of quiz books, you read through general knowledge books, and you're prepared for the quiz. But for public speaking, I'll just tell you that yes, I'm going to give you a topic. You have to talk on that topic for 1 minute without stopping. Okay, without stopping, as in you can't do that sort of thing should not be there. Okay, so this is what basically this class is going to prepare you for. It can be in front of people that you know, example at a family celebration, or in front of strangers. This is something that we've already covered. Unlike a presentation, there normally isn't a lot of opportunity for interaction between the audience and the speaker. So now this is where you are in spot. Okay, what happens is, like right now I'm talking to you, since all of you are on mute, so I just use this thing. I'm using the chat in order to interact with you people. But what if I do not have a chat section? So it would be like, just I'm talking gibberish. I'm just talking, and talking. Okay, I'm not getting any feedback from you people, right? But if you people were allowed to unmute yourselves and you were allowed to give me a feedback, then it would be a lot more easier. But that is not what the scenario with public speaking is. Okay, one person has to be on the stage or a podium and has to talk about something while catching the attention of everyone in that auditorium. Okay, not just the people judging you, but the audience, the people who are listening to you. So before you get their attention, you need to make them listen. Okay, I think there would be several people of you that sometimes one lecture, like just out of all the subjects that you have, there is just one lecture which you cannot just pay attention to. Okay, like right now if I just put a lot of theories over here and I just keep on reading, like I just say, okay, roll number 21 stand up, read the first paragraph, roll number 23 stand up, read the next paragraph, so it becomes a little boring, right? So these classes, they will train you for what? Like how to grasp the attention of the audience. Okay, like there are certain sentences, like when you open the newspaper, what they do is they put the headlines in such a manner that you are excited to read it. Okay, if the headlines are not catchy enough, you might not want to read it. If just like is there in the case of a website's name. Okay, so if I write the name of the website as something catchy or something cool, like if I just write, if I open up a restaurant and I just name it WhatsApp versus Facebook, so I'm pretty sure all the teenagers in the neighborhood would want to come in. But if I write it like, something Bhojanalay, so it's not that catchy. It does not appeal to people. So these classes, they will, if I may say, if I may, like, take this little opportunity to say, it will teach you how to be a lot more cooler on in front of people, in front of the stage, on the stage. Okay, so this is what public speaking is about. I think Sadia has a question. Ma'am, what if we go to a new place to host a meeting? How do we use an icebreaker? How do we start? Okay, so this is what usually I do. Like, my first job when I went there, so I did not know anyone, and I was, like, a lot years younger than everyone there. Like, the person nearest to my age was also 7 years elder to me. So what I did was, as soon as I went, usually you just ask about places, like where exactly is the water cooler. Can you please guide me the place where I can have where I can have food? Where exactly is the canteen? I'm not much familiar around this place. Can you just tell me a little more spots? Okay, usually the best icebreaker is to ask about the things around. Okay, so once that person helps you, judging by the tone of that person, you can know that how friendly that person is, or how comfortable that person is currently with you. If the person is like, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, come, come, I'll show you. This is where this is. Okay, don't just this, I'll tell you all the places around over here. So that person is like, really in the mood to talk to you. But if a person is like, yes, go left, take the first right, and go to 10 meters, walk ahead, that is where you'll get the place. So maybe that person is not very much into talking. You might have to push that person a little bit to talk. So this is what happens. This is how you usually interact. Okay. So Sadia, does that answer your question, or do you want me to say a little bit more on this? Because trust me, till the time you don't put a pause button in me, I'm just gonna keep on talking and talking. Okay. So here's what we have next. Okay. So here, as you can see, I have written off in two ways. First is with a small o, second is with a capital O. Public also I've written in two ways. First is in caps lock, the other one is in non-caps. Speaking also in the same way, and competitions is also the same way. Now, every aspect of this presentation is going to tell you something about the classes. Like if you see over here, the font which I have used over here and the color which I have used is not the same as the color and the font which I've used over here. Mohammed, I'm not ignoring you, beta. Have you put something in the chat? How do we join next class? Mohammed, I think Rashmi ma'am will be able to help you with that. Okay, just wait till the time I end the demo, and after that you'll be able to ask Rashmi ma'am about this. Okay, just wait for a couple minutes. So here, as you can see, whenever you make a presentation, that presentation is a reflection of you. So currently, I am expressing myself with the help of this presentation. Okay, so whatever you present speaks a lot about you. The way you talk, the vocabulary you use, the way you stand. Okay, so many a times what happens is people, they are wonderful about talking, but they don't have the exact body language to represent. Your shoulders, if they droop down, they don't leave a very good impression. But if you're standing upright, many a times in the assembly you would have heard that your teacher would have been saying that keep your back straight, okay, hands folded and your back straight. So that is something which is rigorously taught in schools in order to make you a better person with a better body language, right? So now here also I have tried to put these competitions according to how exactly they are. So if you look at declamation, I have put that in bold. Okay. So the reason why I've put that in bold is declamation is about when you take up a famous speech, okay, of a person who is a very renowned person, and you try to project that. Okay, so it is like a formal thing. It depends on the person whose speech you're taking up. Like if you tell me that, ma'am, I want to take the speech of Shah Rukh Khan from so and so movie, or Shah Rukh Khan speech from so and so award function, that is not a speech. That is just something that that person is addressing to the audience. A speech is like what? Something like Jawaharlal Nehru said, a tryst with destiny. Okay, so his speech, which he gave at the stroke of midnight, India shall set free. So, that sort of thing is covered in declamation. Second thing is commentary. Now, commentary can be done in two ways. The first way is it's a written commentary. Okay, like for example, you would have seen some sort of videos on YouTube, like reaction videos. Okay, So reaction videos, they are verbal commentary, and written commentary is when something is going on and simultaneously you're writing comments on it. Okay, like if like to speak the language of you people, all of you would be aware of Instagram live. Okay, so if some celebrity comes live on Instagram, so what you do is you keep on writing something in the comment section. So that is your written commentary. But some sort of a reaction video, like if I'm watching a video of someone making aloo paratha, okay, someone is cooking some sort of food, and I just watch that video, and whatever I'm saying is my verbal commentary on it. So it's a very informal thing. It does not have to be very formal. That is why I've put it in a very informal text. Then we have expository. This is completely written. Okay, this is about essay. Okay, essay is like composition, something which you write. So it's usually for about 400 words, but it depends situation to situation. Then we have extemporaneous speaking. Over here, what we have is immediate speaking. Like you have a bowl, you have a lot of topics in it. You pick a chit, you have like 5 or 6 minutes to rehearse on it, and then you have to address the audience. So it's like you have to immediately think about something, and then you just have to say. So this is by far the most difficult of them all, because you're never prepared for it. And at many times, like I've seen students, what they feel is they get cold feet on this. Like 5 minutes off the stage, they will have the perfect thing of about everything. Okay, they will be completely rehearsed, they will have their introductory line, they will have a very good ending note, but at the very last moment, the moment they step on the stage and they have the mic in their hand, they get cold feet. Can any one of you tell me what is a cold feet? It is again an idiom that I'm using. What is getting cold feet? Okay, Sadia says it's nervousness, fear of crowd, stage fear. Nervousness, to get nervous. Okay, all of you are almost correct. Getting cold feet means that you want to back out of something at the very last minute. Like at the very last minute, you're very nervous. Like 6 a.m. in the morning, you're getting, it's like 3 degrees outside, and you're not wearing your socks or any sort of jumpers or any jackets. And the moment you step on that cold ground, okay, on that cold floor, that shiver which passes through your body, that sort of thing is addressed as the nervousness. Okay, so yes, all of you are saying shivering, but not practical physical shivering, like a shivering in the brain. Yes, Metra, we will be working on this. That is something that we will be covering all through the class. My first and foremost priority is going to be removing the stage fear that many of you might have. Okay, so extemporaneous speaking is about that. Then we have storytelling. It's such a cute thing that I put it up in a very cute font that I have. Ekanshi, extemporaneous speaking is something which is on the spot. Okay, like whenever you go for your exam, you know that you have a syllabus that you read. Okay, so you read the syllabus, you go to the examination hall, you read the question paper. The questions are completely from your syllabus. So that is something which is prepared. But if you don't know the syllabus, you don't even know, except for the language that the question paper is going to be, you know nothing about the question paper. So that sort of thing, you need to be prepared about each and everything that is there. So on the spot speaking is known as extemporaneous speaking. Like right now, if I just pick any one of you out the random, I unmute you and I ask you to tell me about yourself. So that is extemporaneous speaking. But today, if I tell you that tomorrow I will be asking any of you to talk about yourself, then that would not be extemporaneous speaking, that would be a prepared speaking. So coming to the next one, storytelling. Storytelling, it is about how beautifully you narrate something. Like if there is a sentence in the story, once upon a time there was a jungle where a lot of animals lived. So this is just like reading out a sentence. But when you're storytelling, you have to be interactive. Once upon a time there was a jungle where a lot of animals lived. So it's about where to put the pauses, how exactly to put the pauses, how well you communicate with the other person. Like if you just keep on reading like a a news reader, so it won't do any good. Even the news readers, they have to put a lot of nuances, a lot of stances in their speech. Okay, like they need to pressurize on the word that they have. Okay, if you just say that 200 people were killed in the massive attack and people were weeping, people were crying, so it does not make any impact. You need to have a lot of emotion in what you're talking. So that is what is there in storytelling. Then we have debate. Debate is one of the most experienced things in the public speaking. Like it is something which is nearly there in every school, in every genres of your life. So debate is basically your YouTube comment section. Like you are just arguing about anything and everything. Okay, one person likes the latest movie trailer by Varun Dhawan and the other person doesn't. So what they do is they just start fighting in the comment section. The same thing when you do in a little dignified manner, in a very sophisticated manner, without any abuses, without any bad words, that sort of thing is known as a debate. Okay, so debate obviously has two sorts of things, for and against. One person would be for the topic, other person would be against the topic. So if there is any diplomatically or politically correct person in the class, I would suggest not to go for debate. Okay, because debate you cannot just convince both the parties. Like you cannot just say that I don't exactly hate maths, but I don't even like maths. There are a lot of people that say that. So you don't have to do that. It's like I either hate maths or I love maths. So you cannot be best of both worlds. Okay, you just need to have one thing with you. Next, we have informative speaking. Informative speaking is basically in like practical world, the announcements that you hear on the airport or the announcements that you hear somewhere. Okay, so basically you are informing people about something. So it's a very monotone speaking. You do not really have to do anything. It's just you're informing people, yeah, that this is there. You need to be here, so on and so forth. We have to cling to the topic in debates. Yes, Harsha, that's very important. And do we have debate topic in the actual class? Yes, you will have that. Miss, I thought that you learn speaking through experience and through watching others. Ashi, that is very much there. But Bacha, what happens is that speaking is not a subject, it's an art. Okay. So, like I for myself, I'm a very dramatic person. So, like, if you meet me in real life, I might be some other person. If you see me in classroom, I am a very strict person. Okay. So I have different moods for myself. So that is not something which I have learned looking at people. That is just something who I am. Okay. So every person has their own way of speaking. I'm not going to teach you how to speak. I'm just going to pull that speaking out of you. Every person has that one quality of speaking. I'm just going to help you find yours. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with it. Okay, so it's more of you people and less of me. There is something called a rubrics. Okay, I don't know if any of you have heard of this word. Okay, I just love using hi-fi words in English just to sound a little bit cooler. So rubrics is something that is like breakdown structure of competition. Like every time in a reality show you see people scribbling down something. So what they're scribbling down is rubrics. Okay, like if a person is taking part in debate, so how much knowledge that person has. If that person has immense amount of knowledge, so 5 out of 5. Then some other sort of column would be there: body language, vocabulary, use of language, so on and so forth. So we will be doing these rubrics. We will be following different types of rubrics for all these competitions, and eventually we'll have a structure. Like I will teach you what to do when you know everything, but I will also teach you what to do when you know nothing. Okay, so both ways are going to be there. And Sadia, thank you so much for the lovely comment. Okay, so next we have oratory. Oratory is something which you just like talk about. So if I tell you that you are a very good orator, that means I love the way you speak. Okay, so oratory, this is a very vast topic. I'm not going to go a lot more detail into this, but this is also one of the topics that we will be covering. And then poetry. So this I think would be optional for some of you. Why I would say that is because poetry, it requires a lot more structure and a lot more theory than all these topics. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you how to write poetry, but how exactly poetry is supposed to be interpreted, how exactly poetry is supposed to be narrated, how exactly poetry is supposed to be thought of. That sort of thing I will be able to teach you. Next, we have narration. So, narration, in some of your English textbooks, you would have plays. Okay, so there would be like Ram name's character, Shyam character, and then there would be a narrator, the one who says that the scene is set up in the backdrop of a jungle, so on and so forth is happening. So, that sort of thing is done by the narration. Then we have congressional debate. Okay, this is a very huge and a very big term. Congressional debate is what? Like this sort of thing is covered in MUN. Okay, so MUN is Model United Nations. In this, what happens is you have got a lot of general knowledge, or let me say, like, global and political topics. Like, why exactly India and Pakistan cannot come to terms of peace. Okay, so you need to, like, some sort of topics which are very much politically correct, or they are there on a global level. Like, do you think that the first world countries are doing their part for the global warming? Or do you think that there are enough regulations being done regarding the COVID situation in the world? So these type of topics are taken in this congressional debate. The difference between debate and congressional debate is, in debate I can ask you, that the movies are not releasing in the world. So do you think people are not getting that much entertained? This is something which is informal, so I will ask you that in debate. But in congressional debate, I'll ask you what exactly is happening in the world economy, or do you think that the third world countries are actually, taking up picking up the speed, and they're taking on the path of growth or something? Okay, so that sort of topics will be in congressional debates. We select a topic and we represent a country. Yes, exactly. In MUN, you do this. Every person represents a country. You talk about some of the problems of your country, or you talk about how exactly do you aim to solve those problems in your country. So that is what is there in congressional debate. Next, we have speech. Now, the reason why I have changed the font of every letter in the word speech is because speech can be anything. You are very happy about your best friend getting married, so you say a speech. Okay, then you are at your birthday party, you're very happy that you have a wonderful family and a wonderful set of friends, so that's an emotional speech. Third, you have ranked first in your class and your class teacher wants you to see a speech, so that's like a little bit of a pride and a very good speech that you want to deliver to your friends. Okay, not being sound, you don't want to sound a little egoistic, but you want to sound a lot confident and you want to thank your teachers. Third thing that we have is like speech can be is something which is formal as well as informal. Like the principal of your school, whenever he or she comes to the podium and talk about a speech, he'll not say that what's up guys, how are you all. Okay, he's not going to do that. What he's going to do is good morning students, and he'll continue with what he has to say, right? So speech, we need to be very much sure as to what exactly are we narrating right now. If you want to address your students for the position of class president, like you're running for the election of the class president and you want to talk something about your students, okay, so that is going to be student to student, so it can be informal. But if you are addressing the whole school, so you have to say like respected teachers, principal, and my fellow students. So speech has got a lot of layers into it. So this is what we have about the types. Now I'll just give you a brief idea as to how exactly we are going to take these classes. So this is a mind map of a debate. Okay, like how exactly you're supposed to learn about a debate argument. Yes, Prakriti, we are a part of different types of members. Yeah. Oh, so you're actually a part of mock parliament, Prakriti, or like you're telling me that yes, these kind of things happen. Okay, either way. So this is a mind map, as you can see, how to prepare a debating argument. So we have got for the motion, we have got against the motion, then we have an introduction. Introduction needs to have an opening line which catches people's attention. So this is what we have, like a mind map. Okay, we will be discussing really sorry, so we will be discussing all these points, right? And this is how we will be leading with the classes. We will have certain activities. Okay, you people will have some sort of portion to note down. Okay, now I won't be telling you as to what exactly do you need to note down. Like I won't be writing out definitions on the board. I won't be saying out phrases in the classes. Okay, so your involvement is supposed to be as much as attentive in the class, right? Even if you're like there in the recordings, I would mainly say please don't skip the classes, because what experience you will get as a part of interactive session, you won't get that in recording. Okay, maybe if I like ask something that what do you think about so and so topic, so you might have a very brilliant opinion about it, but I will never be able to hear it. Okay, I will never be able to tell you that how brilliant it is or how bad it is. So Miss, is lying a type of oral speaking? No, actually, lying is a very bad trait, which I think no one should ever possess. Okay, being honest is like the best thing that you can ever have. Speakers also should understand speaking with an accent is not essentially good speaking. Absolutely correct. Okay, there are a lot of people who will say some words in a particular accent just because they think that the American accent is a lot more like, hip. Okay, that is not supposed to be there. Whatever accent you have, that's the best one that you can ever have. Never try to switch your accents to something. Okay, so I'll be needing two or three things from you. First, like I said, attention in class and presence in class. Okay, slightly I switched them. So, presence and attention in class. Second thing, you need to be a little more into reading. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that go home, read a book for a week and tell me, write a book report on it. All of you very much have internet and you will be able to download a very nice book report, and there are several methods by which I would not even know that from which website you have taken it down. Okay, So I'm not going to do any sort of bookish thing with you. What I'm going to do is I need to first of all understand that how comfortable or how not comfortable you are with the aspects of public speaking. So that includes reading, that includes talking, and most importantly, it includes listening. Okay, so why it is said, why do you need schools? Okay, you can just buy the books from anywhere, you can practice questions from the internet. Why do you need to learn it from a teacher? Because what you listen is the best memory that you have. Okay, you can't actually see the battle of Panipat happening in front of you. So the best that you can know about the battle of Panipat is by listening. If you read it, you might get bored, you might not even want to, remember it. But apart from seeing, the best sort of activity that you can have is listening. Second thing, how exactly you need to express yourself. Okay, if I'm sad and if I talk like, hi, how are you? So that would not convey that how sad I am. If I am sad, I need to convey it in a very sad tone. If I say, hi, how are you? You'll think I'm a very chirpy person, I'm very energetic, I'm very good. Okay, so these topics, these everything, how exactly your body language impacts people, how your posture should be there, how many gestures you should be making, okay, how your facial expressions work. So these are things we will be covering in this, right? So this is like a little bit of a theory about debate. Okay, I've just put in the pointers over here. These are some things that we will be going into detail when you actually take the classes with me. So as you can see, I have yeah, put it down into bullets. So we have opening lines, catching people's attention, introducing what you have, answering these questions. Excuse me. Likely arguments. Consider how to recap everything. We will learn about these all the topics in different things.